Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about solar system. Have you ever looked up into the sky and wondered what was there? Higher than the birds, past the cloud and farther than the moon, a whole host of fascinating objects spinning now in space. Let's imagine for a moment that we could leave the Earth behind to explore the solar system that's around us. We call it the solar system because everything is centered around the sun, and solar means something to do with the sun. Still, the sun is very, very far away from the Earth. It's almost 93 million miles away. That's why it looks so small, and it's the biggest object in the solar system. If you put all of the planets, moons, asteroids, and everything else in the solar system together, you would make up 1 millionth of it. More than that, the sun is what keeps the solar system together. Without the sun, there would be no heat, there would be no light. Plants would not grow. Water would freeze and nothing could survive. The sun gives us heat and light because it is always burning. It's a giant ball of gas, mostly hydrogen and helium, and burned by millions of degrees in the center. Let's leave the sun now to explore the planet. As we move away from the sun, the first planet we'll encounter is Mercury. Mercury is the second smallest planet in the solar system, much smaller than Earth. One of even 5 planets you could see from Earth without the help of a telescope. It don't look much like a planet, it looks more like a bright star. And many nights you could see it closer to the horizon near sunrise and sunset. Mercury is more like our moon. It's small, it has a rocky surface with craters on it. It has no moon in its own and no air to breathe. You probably wouldn't enjoy a trip to Mercury. The temperatures are boiling hot in the sun and freezing cold in the shade. Something interesting about Mercury that is the fastest planet to go around the sun. It only takes 88 days. After Mercury comes Venus, the second planet. Some people call Venus Earth's sister because the two planets are about the same size and gravity. But they are very different in the surface. First of all, it is very hot. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. It's not as close to the sun as Mercury, but a thick atmosphere makes it hotter and traps the heat and stay warm than its neighbor. Venus might not be fun to visit, but it's beautiful to look at. It is the second brightest object in the night sky. The only thing brighter is the moon. You could usually find Venus higher in the sky than Mercury, since Venus is a little bit farther than Mercury. After Venus comes Earth, the third planet. You know all about Earth because that's the planet where we live. Earth is what's called a Goldilocks planet because it's not too hot, it is not too cold. It is just right. As far as we know, Earth is the planet that has living things. Let's leave Earth now and visit Mars, the fourth planet. Mars is known as the red planet because iron oxide, like materials in rust, gives it a reddish color. Mars is smaller than Venus and the Earth, but larger than Mercury. It's small, it has a rocky surface. Earth is the largest in the rocky planets. Mars is the second planet that has moons. It has 2 of them. Though they're not big and round like our moon, Mars' moons are small and irregular. Scientists think they capture asteroids from the big asteroid belt that's between Mars and Jupiter. An asteroid belt is a big ring of asteroids or rocky objects orbiting the sun. Jupiter comes next, the 5th planet. Jupiter is the largest planet and is something called a gas giant. It's called this because it's really big and made mostly of gases. Jupiter is so big that you'd have to fit 11 Earths into it just to come across its middle. Jupiter is the farthest planet you can see from Earth without the help of a telescope. Jupiter has at least 7 moons that circle around it. 55 of them are very small. Only as big as a mountain are smaller. One of its moons is the largest moon in the solar system. Some of its large moons could be seen from Earth in your backyard with a telescope. People can't land on Jupiter because it's made of gas. There's no ground to land on. Even though there was a ground to land on, Jupiter's covered in a terrible storm, much stronger than even the strongest storms on Earth. One storm that we know about could be seen from Earth. We call it the Great Red Spot because that's how it looks like. And it has been going on for at least 200 years. After Jupiter comes Saturn, another gas giant. Saturn is famous for its beautiful rings. Although they look small in the distance, the rings are actually made of many, many ice particles, as well as rocks and dust. Saturn also has 60 moons orbiting it. Saturn is rings are made of billions of pieces of ice, rocks, and dust. Even though Saturn is very large, it's not very dense. That means if you could find a bathtub large enough to put Saturn in, it will float instead of sink. After Saturn comes Uranus, the seventh planet. Uranus is another gas giant, but it's much smaller than Saturn and Jupiter. Unlike any other planet, it is tilted so much that it actually spins sideways. Uranus has rings around it that are much smaller than Saturn's, and 27 moons. Uranus is made of blue clouds made of methane that gives it its lovely color. After